Okay, imagine this for a second. It's the late 90s, you rent a movie, let's say it's the 1995 hit Apollo 13. You watch it, totally enjoy it, but then you leave it sitting on your kitchen counter for a few days. Finally, you take it back to the rental store. The cashier scans it, looks up, and tells you that you owe a $40 late fee. 40 bucks? Literally the cost of buying the movie twice over. Now, most people just kind of gritted their teeth and paid it. I mean, late fees made up a massive chunk of rental store profits, pulling in hundreds of millions of dollars a year for the industry. But back in 1997, one guy was so incredibly frustrated by this exact, everyday annoyance that it literally sparked the birth of an absolute empire.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to unpack one of the absolute greatest David versus Goliath business stories of our modern era, the unbelievable evolution of Netflix. We're going to dive into how a company that now generates billions of dollars in revenue every single year and serves hundreds of millions of subscribers worldwide started with just a simple, super relatable problem. We'll see how they faced a devastatingly humiliating rejected business proposal and ultimately relied on a bold vision that almost nobody believed in at the time.
Section 1. The origin and the problem. The $40 late fee.
Okay, let's dive into this. The story really kicks off in 1997. Reed Hastings, the guy who got hit with that infamous $40 Apollo 13 fee, and Mark Randolph were brainstorming new business ideas. And right around this time, a brand new piece of technology had just hit the scene, the DVD. Because DVDs were super lightweight and could easily slip right inside a standard postal envelope, mailing movies directly to people's homes was suddenly physically possible. To start, though, the mechanics were pretty clunky. Customers would visit this early web portal, pick a movie, wait to receive it by mail, and then mail it back when they were done. It was basically a paper rental model, exactly like the physical stores, and, well, growth was painfully slow. Paying per rental just wasn't moving the needle enough to build an actual empire. So, the founders quickly realized they needed a drastically better model if they were going to survive. The huge breakthrough? A fixed monthly subscription. And here's the absolute game changer: zero late fees. Instead of paying for every single movie, customers paid one flat monthly rate and could rent multiple discs at a time. By dropping the penalty entirely, they didn't just tweak the model, they eliminated the industry's absolute biggest customer pain point. Think about it. Traditional stores literally relied on punishing their customers for a massive chunk of their revenue, and Netflix just flipped that completely on its head. Customers absolutely loved the freedom, and suddenly the company started growing rapidly.
Section 2. The Goliath Encounter. The Blockbuster Rejection.
All right, fast forward to the year 2000. Netflix is burning through cash, struggling financially, and really reeling from the massive uncertainty of the dot-com crash. Just think about the stark contrast here. On one side, you have Netflix, this niche, mail-based tech startup that's literally just trying to survive an economic downturn. On the exact opposite side, you have Blockbuster. In the 90s and early 2000s, Blockbuster was this seemingly unstoppable giant, boasting thousands of physical retail stores all across America. But hidden right beneath all that massive success was a fatal vulnerability. Their revenue model was deeply, fundamentally reliant on punishing their customers with those very same late fees. So, facing pretty much total financial ruin, the founders of Netflix managed to arrange a meeting with Blockbuster executives. They walk into that room and make a really desperate proposal. They offer to sell Netflix to Blockbuster for just $50 million. $50 million! I mean, in today's tech world, that is practically pennies. But the Blockbuster execs literally laughed them out of the room. No joke, they laughed. They looked at Netflix, saw this tiny niche business with very little future, and rejected the deal outright. It is truly incredible to think about today, because looking back, that laughter is now known as one of the single most expensive mistakes in modern business history. Today, Blockbuster has almost completely disappeared, and Netflix is worth hundreds of billions of dollars.
Section 3. The Technological Leap. Surviving and Advancing.
And this brilliantly illustrates their next move. That humiliating rejection basically forced Netflix to innovate. They realized nobody was coming to save them, so they heavily invested in technology, building a powerful recommendation algorithm to help customers discover content they'd actually enjoy, which quickly became their greatest competitive strength. Then skip ahead to 2007. Recognizing that internet speeds were finally getting faster across the country, they took a monumental risk: instant online streaming. They actively chose to cannibalize their own wildly successful DVD business just to win the future. A lot of people wildly underestimated the importance of this move at the time, but it completely transformed the entire entertainment industry. The waiting game was over. Suddenly, everything was available instantly.
Section 4. The content threat. Becoming a powerhouse.
Now,
streaming was obviously a massive leap forward, but it brought up a brand new existential challenge. See, up to this point, Netflix relied entirely on content owned by traditional external studios. If those studios woke up one day and realized Netflix was a major threat, they could just pull their content at any second and subscribers would disappear overnight. So, what was Netflix's solution to this massive threat? Well, they just decided to make their own. Starting with House of Cards in 2013, they launched a rapid-fire succession of absolute cultural mega-hits: Stranger Things, Narcos, The Crown, Ozark, Wednesday. This wasn't just about survival anymore. Producing their own incredibly popular original content officially transformed Netflix from a mere distributor into a global entertainment powerhouse. They didn't just distribute the software anymore, they owned the platform, and now they own the culture.
Section 5. Lessons in constant reinvention. The takeaways. So, the crucial point is, how exactly does a company go from mailing DVDs to total global dominance? Let's distill this entire evolutionary journey into 3 punchy business lessons. First up, great businesses often start by simply solving simple, everyday customer problems, like eliminating a deeply annoying $40 late fee. Second, innovation beats size every time. Blockbuster was physically huge, sure, but Netflix was mentally agile and adaptable. And third, complacency kills. Never, ever assume your current success guarantees your future. Blockbuster disappeared because they simply stopped evolving, while Netflix survived because they never stopped reinventing themselves. They went from DVDs to streaming, from streaming to original content, and from content creation to a global entertainment giant.
What started as a simple idea to eliminate rental frustrations became one of the most influential companies in the world. A tiny startup challenged an invincible industry giant, was literally laughed out of the room, and still won the whole shebang. And it all began with someone asking, how can we make this better? So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to consider today. What everyday frustration in your own life is hiding your biggest opportunity? Look closely at your daily annoyances, because as we've seen, sometimes the next billion-dollar idea is hiding right inside of them. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep looking for those everyday opportunities.